Dobrodošli svima.
Dobrodošli svima.
Ciao. Hvala. Dobrodošli svima, ali mislim.
Ovdje Ivana.
Ovdje Maki i
Eloi.
Ovdje Eloi. Woo! We have, how do you call it? Like a nickname. Well, not, like you have a Serbian name, Ilija.
Yeah, that's it.
We just named you Ilija today.
Because it's too difficult. Eloi, it's like, yeah.
Eloi.
It's just too difficult. Hey, but we're not used to actually like several vowels at the same time. So that's quite tricky, but also because of the way of writing. So first of all, I should have told you bonjour, bonsoir, comment ça ça va? Comment ça va?
Oui, comment ça va? Bah écoute, franchement, ça va hyper bien. Ouais, ça va hyper bien. Aujourd'hui, j'ai passé une super journée. J'ai donné quelques cours. J'ai fait la vaisselle, tout ça. Donc, c'était une journée très occupée. Voilà, je me suis bien amusé.
Okay. He was occupied. He was occupied, something like that.
Yeah. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
So just to know, our followers, we're not going to have this in French. It was just,
definitely. Why?
Oh, but
neither in Serbian, unfortunately,
no.
not yet. But one day we will do it in Serbian.
Hey,
too.
maybe next time when we meet up, and then we can all do it in Serbian, because hopefully by that time everyone's gonna have a bit more, like, just feel a bit more comfortable speaking in Serbian, right? But yeah, but before I actually continue or we start asking questions, guys, if you don't know who this is, it's Eloi. He is a French teacher, as far as I know, right? This is at least one of the things that you do. You're also a YouTuber. I would say you're a comedian as well, because I think this is your specialty in your videos. And also I want to say he is a husband. So exactly.
Newlywed, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
very.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, we have a lot of questions, and we kind of like introduced you right now, but we would like you to kind of give us maybe the introduction of yourself, or like how your story before you came to Serbia.
Okay.
How did it,
I'm asking that myself, yes.
Every day.
So I was born in France, right? That's the beginning. So yeah, I'm French. I was studying something totally different. I was not studying how to teach French, but somehow, I was teaching how to manage non-profit organization, basically. And I came in Serbia for a contract of 10 months with Mladi Istraživači Serbije. Like, it's a non-profitable organization in Serbia.
How did you find them?
It was a European voluntary service. Evropski volonterski servis. Rozumieju serbski. But I think in English it's European voluntary service. So you can work for an NGO in any country of European Union, and some country like Serbia, Turkey, Russia, like a few countries.
Candidates.
Oh yeah, so Turkey also. I think Turkey is part of the program also. And yeah, so I did that for 10 months, and I met my wife. So then I decided to stay. And obviously here I cannot work in management of organization because I will need to speak Serbian. So when my contract ended, and I was thinking what to do with my life in Serbia, and I speak French, that's the skills I have that I can use easily. So yeah, then I passed a diploma to teach French, and now I'm teaching in some schools in Belgrade. And yeah, it's doing fine. And yeah, I made some videos on YouTube, and somehow few people watched it. So no, so
a lot of people watched it.
I mean, it depends on the video, but I mean, yeah, I got really surprised. And since I like everything that is like editing and writing and shooting, like behind the camera, then I continue. I don't really like to be in front of the camera, but no, I have to. So, but I also kind of train myself, to be in front of the camera. So it's quite fun. But yeah, what I prefer is mostly like to write and to do the editing. And yeah, that's it. No, I do those videos, even though I'm not very productive at the moment, but I will be. And teaching French. I think
that's great.
That's me.
So how many years are we talking about? When was the first time that you came here for this project, and how long has it been since then?
So it was in 2016. Then I came back to France for like about a year, and I came back in 2018. And then I was like, okay, shit, I need to learn Serbian because my job was in English before. So now I came back, I don't have a job and I need to make friends and everything, so, and to speak with the family of Lara. So then I wanted to learn Serbian. And yeah, I started in 2018, even though I could already say like Dobar dan, Fara, and Jabih Pivo and those kind of things, but I really like learn much more.
That's good. I mean, in a short time, you conquered a lot. Your long videos are all in Serbian.
Yeah, but you don't see all the editing behind it and all the cutting.
But hey, even the will just for it to be in Serbian is quite a lot, actually. So, but you see what love does. Šta radi ljubav? Look at him. He like, I had a whole list of questions, and then I thought of this one question, and I talked to Maki. So I'm gonna ask you now, which is like, what do actually Serbs know about France and French people? What is like the stereotype for that, or like what do they think of? Like I know some people that don't even know the capital of France. So yeah, was this something that was surprising for you?
It's only fair enough because a lot of French people probably don't know the capital of Serbia. So
yeah, right.
But I mean, I guess here the stereotype and cliché are the same that the American have, for example, or a lot of people have, like that we are very rude, even though we are much more polite than Serbs.
Okay.
No, Serbian people are very nice, but when it comes to politeness, like molim, it doesn't exist here. Daj mi kafa, and not like Jabih teo kafu molim vas. So, but it's not a problem. But yeah,
it's just a fact.
Yeah. But it's funny because like when I ask my student, for example, what do you think about Serbia? They think we're rude people. But when I told them, like, I mean, come on, like, how do you order a cafe, for example? And they're like, oh, but daj mi kafa. I mean, so
I thought the same thing actually. Yeah.
So they think like with escargot, like pujevi, snails.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and which is sometimes true. Like me, I just tried it 2 times. It's quite good.
Yeah.
I mean, all the typical cliché, like baguette, fromage, like cheese. The fact that, but also one thing, because here, like Serbian people, they love history, and like they know so much, for example, about the fact that France helped during the First World War, Serbia, which I didn't know. So now I learned a lot about history here. And yeah, I mean, they really know a lot. And France and Serbia used to be very close nation, especially like before the Second World War. So I think a lot of people like French culture because of this, but then we were part of NATO and everything. So you also have a lot of people that don't like what France represents. So it's a bit mixed, but yeah.
It's always a polarity in Serbia, I feel like. And so also one of the things that was kind of interesting is that Zaz, the group, was very famous in Serbia, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. There was even a Café Zaz. I mean, they used to, I think it's closed. I don't know. But yeah, when I saw that, I mean, I was like literally like this, because Zaz is not so popular in France. And I cannot judge because I only know one song. But we heard it all the time, so we don't really like it. Yeah, I think most of people just know Je veux de la joie, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, somehow she's very popular in Serbia. I don't know why.
Yeah, even I knew the song. But so now we already kind of talked about stereotypes, but can you tell us then what stereotypes are correct about French people now that you already mentioned some of them?
Yes. For example, for the cheese, it's totally correct. Like we eat cheese all the time. We have actually more than I didn't know that we have more than 1,000 type of cheese.
Wow.
We
don't have that. Yeah.
Recently, a guy made a world record. He made a pizza, but like a normal size pizza, with more than 1,000 type of cheese. So he only used 2 grams of each cheese. It's like more than 2 kilos of cheese on one little pizza.
Oh my God.
That's it. So we do love our cheese and we do love our bread. I would say that that's the only 2 things I miss when I'm in Serbia. It's bread and cheese.
What about pain au chocolat? No?
Well, pain au chocolat, croissant. That's also, I think, true.
How do you find the croissant here? Because in every bakery you see croissant, like something like croissant, maybe.
We have kifle though, like the kiflice. We have that, but that's not like with the type of like phyllo dough, like this very, I don't know.
Anyway, it's a bit different, but you do have croissant, only you usually put something inside. And for us, it's like a sacrilege. It's like a heresy. So,
okay. But so wait, croissant without anything, pain au chocolat with chocolat, right? Like,
yes.
What else do you then have? Do you have other types of like fillings?
Yeah, you can do with apple.
How do you call that one?
That's a good question. It's been a long time. I haven't been to a French bakery. So I think it's croissant aux pommes, probably.
Croissant, no.
And the fact that we're rude, I would say it's mostly like a European thing compared to the US, because it's mostly like a cliche from the US that, I mean, if they go to Paris, and of course we don't have like the tip culture, so we're not smiling all the time, so they think we're rude. But I think that's there is no difference between France and Spain and Serbia and a lot of countries in that regard. So yeah, I don't think this cliche is very true. And yeah.
Okay. You said rude. Okay. Are you picky with your food?
If I'm picky with my food?
Yeah, no, French people. If they're
French people. Yes. I mean, not as much as Italian, for example, which are very picky. But we know we eat of everything and we accept everything. Just some things were a bit picky, like for example, putting ketchup on pizza. So,
love that.
For example, I mean, for me, for example, it's okay like to break spaghetti in half, like I do that.
Yeah.
But to put pizza on ketchup, for me, it's like an insult. It's like you're saying to the guy, your pizza is shit, and I need something to put taste. So this I would say that French will be picky for this kind of thing if you do that in front of them. But otherwise, no, we are not. We eat everything.
How do you find the cheese in Serbia, as you are kind of an expert of cheese?
An expert. No, I love it because here you have like two things here, like kachkavaj and berisir, let's say, like white cheese. When it comes to white cheese, Serbia Greek and Serbian cheese are the best. Like it's awesome. Like every cheese I have so much taste. I love it, and we don't have this in France. It's not a thing. But when it comes to kachkavaj, I mean. No country can compare to France. Sorry, if I'm very patriotic here, but
I would. I mean, it makes sense because you really like. If you have 1,000 types of cheese, I mean, you really perfected your craft. So I think we can give that one to you.
No, you have great food, but when it comes to cheese, I mean, to kachkavaj specifically, no. You have good ones. You have a very good cheese, but I mean,
listen, being realistic is totally fine. What about French people being romantic?
Well, me, for example, I'm the least romantic person in the planet, I believe.
Oh.
So.
What about you? What does your wife say?
Oh, she totally agree on this. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Great match.
But she's not romantic also, so we are a non-romantic couple. But I don't know if I mean, for us, it's more Italian. Italian, for us, they are very romantic. It's like the country of love and everything. But now that I came to Serbia, I heard that we are the country of love. So I don't know.
Exactly. I think I would say France is like a country of love and Italy is the country of desire. Maybe I don't know how to explain it. Like, because they're always like kind of, like, oh, bella, oh, like, pretty, looking good or something like that. So like to conquer in a way, but but this is a stereotype because it's not like I went to France and I had people being very romantic around me. So this is just like the stereotypes that I read.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. But yeah, for me, we are not especially romantic, let's say. But I guess there is the image of the French language and probably the romanticism. Like, I mean, maybe the writer. I don't know. I don't know where does it come from, but I don't think we're any more romantic than other people.
I have one request, please. One of my friends is fangirling that you like would how do you say respond on like on my stories or whatever. Can you just say Zdravo Ljubice?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Can you just say Zdravo Ljubice? Her name is Ljubica.
Zdravo Ljubice.
She loves you, just so you know. She loves you. I just thought of that, so she's gonna love this. Didn't tell her that that I'm talking to you, so she's gonna love it. Okay. The last one about friends. How old is she? Hey.
My wife is not. I'm joking.
She's around 27, I think, something like that. But she knows also, she loves French. So this is one of the reasons why she also loves you, and she loves your videos. She loves your sense of humor. She probably just gets you completely, and that's why she was like, and you're learning Serbian, like her language. So she's like, yes. Okay, so the last one is that French people are artistic/intellectuals.
Oh, very, very intellectual. Yes.
Is it true?
Again, it's hard for me to generalize because I met a lot of artistic and intellectual people in Serbia. So it's hard to say for the whole country that people are like that. But it is true that we have a lot of famous people in art, in cinema, in painting, in writing. I would say, I mean, again, it's a generalization. It's hard to say French people are more intellectual than others. Like, I cannot say that.
Yeah, these are all very stereotypical generalizations. So we all know that this is.
But for once, it's a nice stereotype. So I will take it. I will say.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's good.
Patriarchism comes.
So hey, it fits me. Why not? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to, Maki, ask some questions? Because I feel like I took over with my French stereotype. Part.
Now I want to ask about Serbians to you. Let's talk about stereotypes for Serbs.
Okay.
For example,
and be careful about what you say because your wife is Serbian as well.
Yes.
Before we continue with the show, here's a quick reminder. This podcast is free for everyone and supported by listeners like you. We hope that this podcast is useful and convenient to you. This is a labor of love for both of us. To help us continue creating useful content for everyone, we will appreciate your help. If you have the means, you can support us in different ways. You may just go to buymeacoffee.com/mozdekafa podcast and send us some cups of coffee. You may also become a member of our show on patreon.com/mozdekafa podcast and get extra benefits like bonus content, full transcripts of the show in Serbian, or even join us on the show. We rely on your support to help everyone more in learning Serbian language and culture. Thanks for joining us today, and now let's get back to our episode.
We have lots of followers as well, but I think they're all open to your criticism anyway.
Yeah, I think they're used to it.
Serbs drink a lot.
Yes. That's totally true.
And did your drinking increase since you came here?
No, actually, maybe it's not so true. I think French people drink more.
Really?
But Serbs drink more early, I would say.
Interesting. How early?
Like in the morning. Like in the morning.
Yeah, coffee and raki.
Like when I compared, I mean, in France, it's totally normal to have a glass of wine when you eat the lunch at noon. Like it's the most normal thing. And I never see anybody like drinking alcohol for lunch, for example, in Serbia. And we also drink quite a lot wine and beer in the evening. Mm-hmm. So we do drink actually quite too much maybe. But Serbs, they drink more pure alcohol, like rakia. Like it's
stronger
not,
ones.
Yeah, it's not popular in France, like rakia, rum, vodka. I mean, it is for young people, but it's not so popular. It's mostly like wine and beer.
Yeah.
So I would say that Serbs maybe drink, for example, if you drink a rakia in the morning in France, they will call like, I don't know, they will think you have a problem, that you're depressed. I don't know. Yeah, alcoholic. and in Serbia, it's totally normal and it's accepted, and it's actually good for her. I mean, it's probably good for a lot of things. So it's totally normal. But in France, no, you do that, you have a problem.
Timing and the density is the difference. How about Serbs often get angry?
Well, yes. Yes.
Thinking of your wife.
Maybe more than French people. Especially like when it comes to driving, they can get very angry. Yeah.
Swear a lot.
Yeah, they swear a lot. Like, and also like the honking. Like as soon, for example, like in Belgrade, in Serbia, like it first go to orange and then green, the light. And like as soon as it like a microsecond, if it comes to orange and you didn't already start, it would be like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they look like very, I don't know, stressed with the time, which is strange because usually Serbs are
Laid
always
back.
late. So,
Yeah.
But when they're driving, no, they're very, what was the
aggressive
adjective?
or
Very
like angry? Or
Angry,
yeah.
But otherwise, no, I never saw any angry person that is not in a car in Serbia. At least angry person towards me. I mean, I saw some, but
yeah. I feel like
not more than in France. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to say, I actually stopped you, but I wanted to say that I feel like one of the things, like with the angry thing, I think it's more of like maybe holding a grudge. I feel sometimes that we can do that rather than being constantly angry. We do complain a lot. I mean, it's just, and you kind of like swear or whatever, but I think it's just maybe the grudge more than being angry. But yeah, typical angry level, I guess.
So from that to women. Women are gold diggers in Serbia is a common stereotype.
I mean, Slavic girls, actually.
I mean, I didn't saw that, but yeah, I heard it's a stereotype, but not more than in France. I mean, I don't know, all the girls I know, they're very normal. So
yeah.
But I mean, maybe the thing is that maybe people think that because you see like in the evening girls that have a lot of makeup and that like very beautiful dress and everything, which you don't see often in France. So maybe that's why, I know. But I didn't experience this, sadly.
You would have ruled.
But I don't have money, so actually it doesn't work. Maybe that's why.
Hey, but you actually don't really need to have a lot of money because the status is already everything. It's like a big deal in Serbia. Like, you're from France. Come on, France. Could have used that.
I should.
Oh, damn it! Now, too late.
No, I cannot.
Are people cold here? Do you find them cold?
Sorry.
Like they are distant, cold? Like they don't smile much, or they don't start the conversation?
Yeah, in France, well, I would say more like south in that regard, like Spain and Italy, even though it depends on the region. But we tend maybe to smile much more than Serbs. Yes, that's true. But that doesn't, I mean, yeah, because it depends on people. Yeah. But it's true, a lot of time, I know a lot of Serbs that really have like, they never smile, but they're still like very nice and everything. And it's really weird to see a French person that doesn't smile. And the same when you go in a shop, like when you go to a shop or anything like this, you rarely see like the person like saying like, "Hi, how are you? What do you want to have?" They're usually like, "Is what it there."
Yeah. Actually, that's true, because I get so confused when I go to the store and someone's like too enthusiastic to help me out, or like they ask me, "How are you?" or something, and I'm like, hey, I'm just looking. Like, samo gledam, like don't attack me right away. That's true.
Yeah. That's true. So yeah.
Okay, so considering that you've been here in Serbia for a long time now, I mean longer, let's say, what was your biggest cultural shock? Or like, what did you have to work through? Or maybe it's still something that you just can't deal with in a way.
No, I think I can deal with almost everything. Maybe one shock I would say was maybe the obvious one. Like the first shock I had, for example, was the burek in the morning, because literally the day when I arrived, I mean the day after I arrived, like in the morning, we went to the office, and at 8 a.m. and they offered us like, "Oh, you're French. Hey, take like a burek sa sirom, like pita sa sirom." And I mean it was like way too big, oily and everything at 8 a.m. and I was used to just have an apple in the morning. So for me it was like that's a big shock, for example. Yes. And then I could not eat burek for 1 year, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
It's quite interesting because when I was in Serbia with my boyfriend at the time, and he's partially French as well, and he was like, your food is just really greasy and oily, and it's very much like very heavy food. Like he's like, how aren't there more fat people in here? You know, so I don't know. I just, especially in the like, I'm from the north, so this is where you have agriculture and you have a lot of cattle. So like my parents are used to, or my grandpa is used to like eating bacon and čvarci and, you know, like burek, or like everything's really, really greasy. I don't know how we do it.
Yeah, I don't know how. That's true.
But you have a lot of butter though in France, right? A lot of butter and like
yeah, especially where I come from, Brittany, it's all about butter. We put it everywhere, and we're also usually quite thin. So
there you go.
Then fat doesn't make you fat.
That's true. It's mostly
okay, rapid question. So we're going to ask you a question, and then you just, you know, say the first thing kind of that you think of. Favorite Serbian meals?
Sarma.
Oh, that's a good one. I love that one too.
Cool.
Like
favorite.
No hesitation. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No hesitation. I said like sarma.
Sarma. I see. Favorite dessert?
Palacinka, ali nije baš srpski.
Yeah, that's true.
Crepes, pancake.
Palacinka, good.
Favorite place to visit in Serbia?
Tara.
Oh, that's a good one. I just went to Tara this year.
I still haven't seen it yet. So
yeah,
It's
pretty nice.
Favorite Serbian product?
Can you repeat?
Favorite Serbian product. It can be something edible or not. Yeah.
Slatko, maybe that's interesting. Like the jam, like the weird jam people keep.
Slatko.
Because we don't have it in France. That's why.
That's a good one.
What about some of the funniest or weirdest words in Serbia? Serbian, actually, not in Serbian. Serbian.
I love kikiriki.
Oh, kikiriki is a good one. Yeah, because it's kind of like the rooster, right?
It's not. Well, in French, you're saying.
And how does the rooster say in French?
Cocorico. So yeah,
okay,
it does
so
look like a bit.
Yeah.
But kikiriki is my favorite Serbian word.
Yeah,
that's good. The most difficult word to pronounce in Serbian.
There is so much. Everything with a lot of ch.
But your ch is pretty good, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure which, but there is a word I remember. Oh no, maybe it will be like VRH, like top, at the top of something. Like everything that ends with the H, for us French people, it's pretty hard because we're not used to make H. So I put all the oxygen I have in my lungs, and then I need to breathe before I continue the sentence. So if vr is the last word of the sentence, it's okay. But if it's in the middle of a sentence, then it's, you see, no, I need to breathe because I said it's like, I don't know, I'm not used to the H.
Wait, okay. you don't even have it in French, or you do you?
No,
or in maybe it's like a bit similar to R actually, right? Because that's how I like, it's very gluttonous, very much here. Okay, and then the last one is what are the most common borrowings from French in Serbian, or like what are the ones that you noticed?
Borrowings from French, there is abat-jour that I noticed.
What is that?
Abat-jouri.
Lamp.
I think you say that. Yeah,
right?
like the lamp. Yeah.
Oh,
we have it in Turkish too. Maybe we brought it.
Yeah, maybe we borrowed it from you. Oh no, actually, no, because it makes sense in French. Like jour is the day, and abba is like to hide. I mean, I know there is a lot of. I mean, not a lot. Like less, for example, there is more like Turkish words, for example, obviously.
That's true.
But French, I know there is French word, but I cannot remember now.
Can you remember, Maki, or some of them?
Yeah, I mean, pantalon or television, these kind of things are all French. And we have them in Turkish from French as well. So
yeah, when you look at like this, yeah. And also, I guess there is a lot of French words, but no, I mean, the one I would think they're mostly Latin, I guess, like lampa.
Yes.
Latin. Yeah. So it's hard for me to differentiate if it's a French thing or Latin thing or English thing, because a lot of English words come from French. So
I don't think we know. I mean, we're not etymologists, so this is not our
me neither.
specialty.
We're just finding the common ones.
Exactly.
Talking about the words, what are your tips for Serbian learners? Do we really have to
don't
go
know.
with the vocabulary first, just make fun of everything, or
He's like, I don't have.
Go back to your country. What are you doing here? I'm joking. Shalim said. Well, I'm the worst person probably to give a tip because I'm learning Serbian for 3 years and I still have a very bad level. But I will say the most important. The most important is vocabulary, obviously, for any language. So go to learn vocabulary and grammar. You can learn it and everything, but vocabulary is the hardest thing and the most important thing to know in any language.
Because even if you say like 3 words, right, then people are going to know what you mean, even if your grammar is not good, right? If you put just this, and this, and they're like, okay, you are hungry, want to eat, or something like that, right?
Of course. And also to understand people, because, even if you have a lot of grammar of Serbian, you will not know all the grammars, but you will understand every sentence if you know the words. And you don't need to understand the padeji if you understand each word separately, and then you it makes sense that it means that. So it's important, the grammar, but the most important is the words. So the grammar in the beginning, but then once you learn Serbian for 1 or 2 months, I guess you got the grammar right. So then the vocabulary is the longest road. And I don't have any tips except suffer.
How did you learn vocabulary though? Is it through talking in Serbian? Is it through reading? Is it through listening? What did you do?
Everything. I know I learned a lot of vocabulary because I was working as a barman in a bar in Belgrade. So I learned a lot the numbers, obviously, and a lot of things. Because sometimes some drunk people that are 70 come and just talk to you. Oh, you're French.
Oh, yeah.
Have to understand them. And also interesting people, of course, that come and talk to you. But mostly I learned, maybe by reading. I'm reading a lot of cartoons, stripovi and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. Interesting.
Or manga, because mostly no stripovi because I found a shop in Zeleni Venac in Belgrade that have a lot of strips for 200 dinars. And they're all they're also for adults, so it's not just borrowing Asterix and Obelix. Asterix and Obelix is awesome, but it's more for kids. So at least you want to know what's happening.
Yeah.
And that's very good because if you don't understand the word, you have the drawing, so you can get it from the drawing. So that's usually what I do. I read it, I underline everything I don't understand, then I will go on the dictionary, find the thing, and then I will read it again. Except that usually I don't do that. I just read it, but I should.
We all should, yeah.
But that's an authentic advice,
and a really good tip. A really good tip, actually. Yeah, there you go. So you said you didn't have any good suggestions, but you do.
Yeah, or make video in Serbian. That's also I learned a lot of vocabulary because that was the point of me making video, was to learn Serbian. And when you have to write, of course, the script, then you have to play it. So you have to repeat it, have the good pronunciation, the good grammar, and then you have to edit it. So you listen to you 10, 15 times. All of these make that you totally remember every word you use in one video.
Yeah.
So that's also me. I learned a lot of expression, sentence structure, and vocabulary by actually making videos.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And how can people find you on YouTube? Can you tell your name?
Eloi, but I guess if they put Francuz or Serbi, like a French person in Serbia, I think they will find it. Even though there is also other French, but I think they will find it. Yes.
Yeah, I remember the French guy that was also interviewed in one. He's not in Novi Sad, I think. But I think you are known as Francuz Srbiji on YouTube, at least. That's where
on
I
YouTube,
live.
I think.
Yeah. So YouTube, Instagram, are you still open to offering courses, French courses? Is it in a no?
Not much because now I have I'm not overbooked, I'm just very lazy. But I already have a lot of classes, and I like to have time for myself and for personal projects. So no, I don't take really classes. Maybe next year, but this year, no.
Okay.
All right.
I think we have to end it. So thank you very much. And
Hvala ti puno.
Hvala puno.
Hvala puno.
Yeah, and hopefully, Teshukura, yeah, very good. And see you guys in the next episode.